It is UFC 300 fight week, and this fight card did not disappoint. Here is my predictions.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
Kicking off the card, we have a banger. We have Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. This could easily be a fight night main event, especially if you've seen what the fight nights lead up to UFC 300 look like. Deiveson Figueiredo is coming into this fight one fight removed from his 4 fights with Brandon Moreno. Those 4 fights was an absolute war. He's moved up to 135 pounds, and he's coming off of a unanimous decision victory over Rob Font, and he made it look pretty easy. While Cody Garbrandt is coming into this fight on a 2-fight winning streak. In his last fight, he knocked out Brian Kelleher in spectacular fashion. People are saying Cody's back. I've said it before, and I'll say it now. I feel like Deiveson Figueiredo has a real legitimate shot at becoming another champion in the UFC that has 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. He looked really good against Rob Font, who I see as the perennial gatekeeper at 135 at this moment. But with that being said, I think I'm taking Deiveson Figueiredo by 2nd round knockout. Following that fight, we have a 10+ year veteran war about to happen between Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Bobby Green is coming into this fight after being brutally finished by Jalen Turner. I mean, how that ref didn't stop that fight sooner, I have no idea. This is kind of a quick turnaround for him, but at least he's against somebody like a Jim Miller. But Jim Miller is on a 2-fight finishing streak, so this fight should be pretty scrappy. With all that being said, though, I think I am going to ride with my guy Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green's resume stacks up way better than Jim Miller's, at least the late resume in their careers. So with that being said, the higher level fighters and experience, I don't want to say experience because I think Jim Miller has the most fights in the UFC, but level of competition, I'm going to take Bobby Green by 3rd round knockout. In the 3rd fight of the early prelims, we have another former champion in Miss Jessica Andrade versus Maria Rodriguez. This fight should be fun. It should be fun for a women's MMA fight. Jessica Andrade is coming into this fight trying to revive her UFC career. She did finish Mackenzie Dern in the 2nd round of her last fight, but before that, she lost 3 straight and finished in all 3. While Maria Rodriguez is also coming into this fight off of a 2nd round finish over Michelle Waterson-Gomez. I think Jessica Andrade continues her surge back into title contention. I don't think it takes too many for a fighter of Jessica Andrade's caliber to get a title shot. So with that being said, I think she makes a statement on the biggest card in UFC history, and I would say she gets a 1st round TKO knockout. The early prelim main event, we have an absolute banger. We have Jalen Tarantula Turner versus Renato Moicano. However you want to say it. Money Moicano. This fight's going to be fun while it lasts. Jalen Turner stopped his 2-fight skid with an emphatic finish over Bobby Green in his last outing. While Renato Moicano is coming into this fight on a 2-fight win streak, and his last win was actually a unanimous decision win over Drew Dober, which is somebody, if you follow the channel, I'm very high on. So this fight should be really fun. I'm taking Jalen Turner by 2nd round knockout, probably in a spectacular fashion at that. Moicano, I think this is a bad matchup for him, especially if he can't get it to the ground. On the feet, Jalen Turner is an absolute animal, and I think he proves it tonight or Saturday. I'm expecting fireworks all of UFC 300, and so with that being done, I'm just going to break these up. I know these usually be one long video, but before the fight, I'm gonna put them all in one video so they make it easier for that. But I want to get these out quicker so you can have time to, you know what I mean? Anyways, which fight on the early prelims is your favorite? Let me know. But with that being said, let me know which fight on the early prelims is your favorite, which one you're looking forward to the most. I think for me, it's the first fight of the night. I really want to see this Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt fight. It should be really, really exciting, and I can't wait to see how their styles clash. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. UFC 300 prelims is another contender for fight of the night. We have Mr. Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. Sodiq Yusuff is coming into this fight after that hard-fought loss to Edson Barboza. How Edson Barboza survived that first round, I don't think I'll ever know that. That was absolutely insanity. I don't think too many people can survive around like Edson did in that fight. Diego Lopez is coming into this fight on a 2-fight finishing streak, finishing both of his fights in the first round, and he's been pretty dominant in both fights. Looking at the fight, looking at what's on the line, looking at what the added bonuses is to the UFC 300, $300,000 bonuses for fight of the night, performances of the night. I think we're going to see some real fireworks, and I can't wait to see this one, especially since I think Sodiq Yusuff snaps his loss streak. Well, it's not really a streak, he just lost once. I think he gets it done. I want to say second round knockout, maybe even a first, especially if Sodiq comes out like he did versus Edson. I don't think Diego Lopez will be able to take punishment, no diddy, like Edson Barboza did. But that's just my opinion. Who do you guys got in this one? Following that fight, we have a huge debut coming into the UFC. We have Kayla Harrison dropping all the way down from 155 to 135, making her UFC debut as a bantamweight versus a former champion in Holly Holm. This fight should be fireworks. Kayla Harrison is coming in from the PFL off of a win versus Aspen Ladd. Pretty dominant win, unanimous decision win. While Holly Holm is coming into this fight off of a no contest with Mayra Bueno Silva. I forgot what Mayra popped for, but I don't think it was anything serious, considering she fought for the title versus Rocky Pennington and lost, and that was a very bad fight also. But that's not the point of this. Kayla Harrison wrestling is one of the best in the world. Judo, she's a gold medalist, so literally the best in the world. I think Kayla Harrison comes in. I think she comes in, make a statement. As long as she can get Holly Holm to the ground, I don't think this fight's very close, and I have no doubt that she can get Holly Holm to the ground. Considering that I think Kayla Harrison is going to be the best wrestler, judo practitioner that she's ever fought. Maybe Ronda, but that was kind of when Ronda was really big-headed, so I don't really know. But I am taking Kayla Harrison to win a very dragged out fight, 30-26. I think she 10-8s Holly Holm, maybe in the second or third round, and gets the job done. I think it's going to be a very dominant win, maybe dominant enough to jump the line at 135, considering that at 135, look at who we got. Yeah, especially with Juliana Pena being hurt or whatever she's got going on, there's no reason for Kayla Harrison not to have the potential to jump the line with an impressive win. The next fight we have has very big implications at the featherweight division. We have former champion Aljamain Sterling taking on the always dangerous Calvin Kattar. Kattar is coming into this fight off of a 2-fight skid and an injury that sidelined him for more than a year, while Aljamain Aljo Sterling is coming to this fight after being TKO'd versus Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight title. I feel like this fight goes one of two ways. One, Calvin Kattar reminds people who he is and puts on an elite performance on the feet, standing up, piecing Aljo up. or 2, Aljo makes it look pretty easy, like the Corey Sandhagen fight. Gets on his back early, and it's a quick night. And I think Aljo is going to be $300,000 richer if he's able to do that to a Calvin Kattar. Which one of those scenarios is more likely? In my opinion, I think with the extra 10 pounds that Aljo doesn't have to cut, he's going to be a lot stronger. He probably not be as fast, but I don't think it's going to be an immense drop off, if you could say that. I think Aljo gets it done. I think Aljo makes a pretty emphatic statement at the 145-pound division. And with a win here, an emphatic win, a finish win, I think Aljo can maybe find himself in a #1 contender shot in the featherweight division. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know. The fight to transition us to pay-per-view is a fight that could main event a pay-per-view in the future, in my opinion, or even a very, very high level fight night. We have Mr. Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Yuri Prochazka is coming into this fight after being KO'd versus Alex Pereira in his last fight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship, while Alexander Rakic is coming into this fight off of a 2-year hiatus, dealing with a knee injury that he sustained in the fight with Jan Blachowicz. This fight is truly a pick'em, in my opinion. I mean, how Alexander Rakic looks coming back from that knee injury, 2 years off. Hopefully he's fully healed. I don't know why he wouldn't be, because when you're taking on somebody like this, man, Yuri Prochazka, you need to be at your absolute best. So, who gets it done? I honestly don't know. I've been going back and forth about who I'm picking for this fight. Back and forth, because from what I see and from what I watch, Alexander Rakic looked like he was the real deal before his injury. But Yuri Prochazka also, he just knows how to win fights. He knows how to win fights, and it's hard to pick against somebody like that. But this time, for UFC 300, I'm going to have to. I am taking the returning Alexander Rakic to get the job done at UFC 300. 3rd round finish. And a great fight. Great fight. Contender for fight of the night. I think this is going to be one of those fights. Who do you guys got in the prelims? Which fight are you most excited for on the prelim card? On the biggest card ever assembled, UFC, MMA, general, whatever, we have Mr. Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. Bo Nickel, as of to this point in his MMA career, is 5-0, perfect. It hasn't really even been tested in the UFC or any other promotion that he was with, while Cody Brundage has had his hiccups in the UFC. He is on a 2-fight winning streak right now, finishing both of those in the first round, matching Bo Nickel. But to be completely honest, we all know what this fight is. It's a fight for Bo Nickel to try to boost his stardom a little bit, get another viral knockout under his belt, and UFC try to create another star. So with that being said, I'm taking Bo Nickel by whatever he wants, but probably knockout in the first round. Following that fight, we have a fight that I'm really, really excited to watch. We have Mr. Charles "The Bronx" Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. This fight should be fun. It's the #1 contenders bout, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a log jam at 155 pounds, but if either one of these fighters is able to finish the other one, I can very easily see them jump the line. Gaethje should be fighting for the title. Gaethje's fighting on this card, so he's obviously not doing that. I think Dustin Poirier is going to get the title shot at 155 pounds, but the winner of this fight should be the next one in line. Charles Oliveira and Mr. Arman Tsarukyan are coming into this fight after starching Beneil Dariush. Why they did my guy Benny like that, I have no idea. But with that being said, it's time for my prediction. Not the most popular prediction I've ever had, but I had Mr. Arman Tsarukyan winning, probably by knockout. I hate to see it, but that's why I feel in my gut. He's a favorite for a reason, and I think he makes a very, very dominant statement win over the former champ. One of 3 title fights on this card. We have the baddest motherfucker belt being contested once again. Mr. Justin Gaethje versus Max Blessed Holloway. Justin the Highlight Gaethje is coming into this fight on a 2-fight winning streak. His last fight being a knockout over Dustin Poirier to earn the BMF belt, while Mr. Max Holloway is also on a 2-fight winning streak, with his last fight being a knockout and retiring the Korean Zombie. This fight is hard for me. I am a very, very big fan of both of these fighters, but the UFC put this fight together. I'm putting together predictions. The show must go on. With that being said, the extra 10 pounds with Max Holloway, if his cardio transferred up there with him, I think he's going to have a great day against Justin Gaethje, as long as Justin Gaethje doesn't find the right power to speed ratio to crack Max's chin. I feel like Max Holloway by TKO in the 4th round. That's what I'm going with. In the co-main event of the night, we have the Battle of China. We have Weili Zhang versus Yan Xiaonan. Probably butchered her name, I'm sorry. Great respect to you if you ever watched this. Weili Zhang is trying to defend her title for the 3rd consecutive time, while Yan earned this title shot by knocking out Jessica Andrade in the very first round of their fight. I'm going to be completely honest. If your name is in Rose Namajunas, I will never bet or say that Weili Zhang is not going to win a fight. I don't know what Rose got over her, but Rose has her numbers. She did it twice. The first time was nasty. The second time was definitive. So, Weili Zhang probably by unanimous decision, unless Weili Zhang is able to catch Yan Xiaonan with something crazy, which I don't think so. I think it's just going to be another pretty dominant win, like the Amanda Lemos fight for Weili. So yeah, I think Weili retains her title. In the main event of the night, we have Alex Potan Pereira, probably butchered his last name, I really don't know how to say that, versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. This fight is going to be absolutely electric. This is going to be one of those fights where I think people go back and look at random fights and turn this one on, because I feel like classic loading in the air. Alex Pereira is trying to defend his UFC light heavyweight championship for the very first time after winning it by knocking out Yuri Prochazka last year, while Jamal Hill is trying to regain the championship that he never actually lost due to injury. He had to relinquish it. But with that being said, my prediction for the main event winner of UFC 300 is Mr. Jamal Sweet Dreams Hills. Gets it done. Knockout. What round? I have no idea, but I have full belief in it. What do you guys think? Let me know. This card is absolutely stacked. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a very, very fun night. Let me know what you guys think about my predictions down below. Be good, people. Peace.